Hello there, I'm Englund and welcome to my 30th FAQ video. Party! Thanks for sticking with me until my 30th FAQ. And it's a very special FAQ because it's being filmed on my vacation in Spain. So, I'm having a good time here in Spain, having my coffee, and you know, it's really sunny here. And I also have my sunglasses here because it's really sunny inside. Okay, so before I start this FAQ, I want to plug something. And I hate plugging my own shit because it's just, I hate when everyone else is doing it. But I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna plug my shit. The thing is, a couple of days ago, I went down to my basement and just saw all the boxes of t-shirts that I have. And I hate those t-shirt boxes. So if you would, go to my fearband.com website, buy some Feared merch or a Solar t-shirt, so I do not have to bother with these stupid boxes anymore. I have a t-shirt here. This is the Feared Svart t-shirt, and yeah, it's just a t-shirt. But you know what? I have an idea. I'm gonna start a new trend. Because t-shirts are not selling that well anymore, I'm gonna try with t-shirts. Look at that. Ha! Look at that. Can you do that with real shorts? No. Surprise! Okay, good. All right, so go to my website, buy a t-shirt or two. Ola, do you stand when you wipe or do you sit? Asking for a friend. I'm definitely the standing guy. I mean, if you stand, you wipe, you can look, it's easy. You look and you can evaluate if you need to make another wipe or if you're done, basically. So standing up and wiping is the way to go, and you can look back and see your progress, and yeah, it's a lot easier to make a judgment of how your session went. So yeah, I'm definitely a standing wiping guy. It's a lot, you know, it's a lot of hassle just sitting, you know, you wipe your back with shit and it doesn't make any sense. So standing wipe. Hi Ola, do you like Gojira? Yes, I love Gojira, to be honest. My first album that I listened to, I was a bit late with the Gojira hype train, but I listened to The Way of All Flesh, and it's a killer, gnarly sounding album. And they've gone a bit softer with the later albums, and that's fine, but I definitely prefer the, you know, The Way of All Flesh Gojira. It's just a lot more up my alley, if you know what I'm saying. Hey Ola, every time I'm watching your videos, my wife comes and says, "Oh God, are you watching that guy again?" What can I do? Cheers from Denmark. Yeah. Dude, I feel for you. I mean, just imagine my wife. I mean, she gets to watch me all day. I have no idea how she's coping with life, to be honest. But for your situation, you can always divorce her, okay? Ola, I love your videos, but I will never, ever going to subscribe. Ed Rage. That's edgy, Ed Rage. Well, you, Ed Rage, okay? No, don't yourself, that's dangerous. Be careful with those hand gestures, Ola. You don't want to end up like Phil and Selma. What, you mean these? What's wrong with these? This? I mean, I do this every day. You know, to my son, like you. Or to my daughter, like you. It's fine. I want to see Ola with black hair. Well, lucky you, because I might find a picture. We'll see. It's curious that you don't sound good using EMG pickups. Can you explain why? Jensen sounds killer with the EMG 81. I cannot explain why. I think it's because of my picking technique, to be honest. And you know what? I hear people using EMGs all the time and they sound killer, except for when I'm playing it. It's the same thing with the PV5150. I hear everyone else playing them and it sounds, you know, stupidly awesome. And when I play one, it sounds like shit. What the f***'s up with that? I think it's because of my fingers, basically, or my picking technique. It just, you know, that combination just doesn't fit a 5150 or an EMG. What song or riff have you written that you're most proud of? What riff from another band do you wish you wrote? Excluding Walk, I know that one is up there. One of my own riffs, I don't know really. You know, I can be proud about riffs, but it's not like I'm like, yes, this is the riff, this is my riff, you know, or this is my best riff. But I can tell you a riff that was really fun to write, and you know, that's just something that I'm definitely proud of it, because it's not my style necessarily. It's from a song called Strength in Numbers from the latest The Haunted album, Strength in Numbers. And it's just like a totally non-typical Ola Englund riff. And it's happy and it's just party. It's a party riff basically. And you know what? I'm gonna play it for you. So let's pause here. Good riff, huh? How do you choose what questions to answer for your FAQ? Well, you know what? I just scratch my ass and that's it, basically. No. You know what? I just rack up the questions and then I just go through them, and you know, the ones that I think deserves an answer or, you know, has a good answer, I just pick those questions. That's how easy it is, basically. It's a lot of poo questions, I must say, which is fine. Continue. Why your beard isn't growing anymore? What, it is growing? It is growing. I installed EMGs in my Solar E1.6 ET. Are you angry at me? What the f, man? You know, that sucks, man. I feel sorry for you. You know what? You do whatever the f you want with your guitar, okay? That's the beauty with freedom. If you have EMGs in your Solar, I'm happy for you, man. Good for you. Please post a video or send me a picture at least. Ola, my amp sounds like a can. Probably because it has a 10-inch speaker. Because it has a 10-inch speaker. What do you think? Huh? What do you think? You know, in the penis world, 10-inch would be impressive, but in the speaker world, it's nothing, man. You have to get a proper cabinet, a proper amp. It would be more like you having a 10-inch dick, to be honest. It would be just a lot more masculine. 10-inch speaker, destroy, erase, improve. Hi Ola, I know Walk left a big mark on you as a guitar player, but is there any other riff who has changed or inspired the way you play guitar? Hey Honoria. I think before Walk, there was one song or a metal song that really affected me, and that's the Bolt Thrower song, War, which is the intro song for the album For Victory. And when I heard that the first time, I was like, you know, there's a harmony going on between two guitars. Like, wow, that's so evil sounding. And I had no idea how they made that type of, you know, double harmony thing. And another riff that I was also really affected by was Davidian by Machine Head. That was probably my first drop-tuned riff that I ever learned. And you know, those artificial harmonics. Heavy as f. That's a great riff. The new album has a lot of good riffs too. Assalamu alaikum. What the f does that mean? Assalamu alaikum. Wabd abam ola. Why do you hate Musicman guitars? As I remember that you said Musicman guitars is like midget guitars. Woo! Did I say that? Shit, that's a little harsh. I think you're wrong in this sense. I do not remember that I said that I hated Musicman guitars. I have said though that I prefer the Ibanez John Petrucci signature before the Musicman John Petrucci signatures, because, you know, when I started listening to Dream Theater, he was in the Ibanez phase, and you know, there it is. And to be honest, I have not, you know, experienced enough with Musicman guitars, so I can't really say if I hate them or not. Hello, Ola, do you have had bad experience while bringing your guitar on a plane? Would you recommend some flight case? I definitely recommend the Scott Dixon flight cases. They are awesome. I've never had a damaged guitar from flying. I never do the carry-on guitar thing. I've always checked in my guitars, and with the Scott Dixon cases, it's been a bliss, basically. So invest in one of those. I totally recommend it. See you next time. What What? Oh, you caught me off guard there. What? Ola Englund has a family. Can we know some details? Without doxing your family, of course. I don't understand what doxing is. Well, I have a family, I have a wife, I have 2 kids, I have a mom and a dad, I have 2 siblings, an older brother and an older sister, and what else do you want to know? My credit card information too? Face. You should make acoustic treatment with your guitar company. You could call them solar panels. Wow. Congratulations. You're a natural. You should get sponsored by Englund amps. Would totally go with your name. Englund Ola. Engel and Ola. German for Engel and Ola. Oh, so funny. Ola is from Sweden, right? So how is his English so good? Because we read English from 2nd grade in school. My son is turning 8 years old in like a month or so. He's in 1st grade and they've already started looking at English and English words and singing in English and stuff like that. So we begin really early in Sweden with teaching English as a 2nd language. Then I think it's when you're 13 years old you start to read a 3rd language. So for me I read German. And then when I was getting older, like high school, I think I started reading Spanish as well. So in school, up till high school, I learned 3 languages: Spanish, German, and English. And German I don't remember anymore, and my Spanish kind of sucks. So I'm just stuck with the English. Hi Ola, do you know when is the next batch for solar guitars coming? I really want to get my solar guitar, but I just see that everything is sold out. Yeah, we're getting a new batch in May and we will open up pre-orders in April, okay? Just as a tip, I'm not saying you have to do it, but I would recommend if you want the guitar, you buy it when we put up the pre-orders because they're selling out like hotcakes. I don't even know why I'm saying that. That's like an American thing you say. They sell out like hotcakes. Why would hotcakes sell out? I don't understand. And now this question became something bigger. And it's like really, my head is starting to hurt. Why is hotcakes selling out? It's a weird. Oh, and it was the last question, and I have no idea what I'm going to do with my life now. What was I talking about? Yes, the next solar batch is coming in May. Pre-orders open in April. Be sure to get a guitar, otherwise you'll have to wait until the next batch. And that's just how it is. If someone can explain to me what the meaning of selling out like hotcakes means, put the explanation in the comment section. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment section as well of this last FAQ video. I'm not looking at the older ones. Check the current one and I can answer your question. And please subscribe to my channel. It's not much to ask. The button is down there. Push that bell up there. Just push, 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 push. Whatever needs to be pushed, just push it, okay? Okay, thank you so much for watching. Reporting out from Spain. See you next time.